So today, Blake Tollefson and I are going to be talking about pro staff. There's a lot of questions surrounding pro staff. How can I be a good pro staff? What's going to get me noticed? What should I be doing? What shouldn't I be doing? And we're going to answer a bunch of those questions today. Blake and I have both been on lots and lots of pro staff teams over the years, as well as run pro staff teams. So we have experience from both the pro staff side and the management side. So hopefully we can answer some of those questions and kind of get you started on the right path when it comes to pro staff team. You know, Blake and I have both taken an approach of finding products that we really like. So instead of just jumping at every 10% off and we'll send you a free thing, we've really spent the time to look at what brand do I really like and want to represent, and then we just dove in head first with that product, promoting it before we were even on the pro staff, and then contacting people at that business or waiting for them to contact us after we tag them in lots of posts. And we've been really successful in working with a lot of the brands that we wanted to, just by being patient and not jumping the gun and grabbing the first thing that we saw.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me it's far more important to find something that you like. It's a lot easier to promote something that you like and you believe in than it is to just because you're getting free product. So for me, that was kind of the biggest influence in me in choosing who I decided to work with. Was first off, do I like the brand's products? If I did, then to me it was kind of a no-brainer. And like Caleb said, a lot of these relationships start long before there's something on paper. So that might just be sending them some photos, tagging them in some posts. That stuff goes a long way with the people who run these companies. Maybe you are somebody who's a very good tournament angler. Maybe you're somebody who's very good at photography or videography or writing. All of those skills kind of play a role on a team. It doesn't really matter specifically which one of those skills it is, but they're all very important to a pro team manager.
They all have their place.
Yep.
And some guys are good at video, some guys are good at photography, some guys are good at writing, some guys are just good at promoting on Facebook pages and stuff like that.
Yep.
And that all plays a role in brand recognition and getting that brand where they want to be, which is basically more sales in the long run. That's what they're going for. So one thing I've noticed in the last year is that video has really taken off, and that can be a very big player on social media now, vertical video especially, like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. And that's one thing that brands have a hard time getting pro staff to get them, is those short vertical videos. So if you can really double down on getting that content to whoever you're working with, you're gonna separate yourself pretty quickly. And also quality photography. I'll let Blake talk a little bit about that because he's kind of the expert photographer here.
Yeah, I mean, photography goes a long way, and it's not just your standard grip and grins. I mean, obviously, it's great to see a picture of somebody holding the big fish, but a lot of times what a company wants to see is pictures of their product. So that might include a fish, but there's a lot of instances where pictures they have no fish in them whatsoever. It's simply just a product-based picture. So taking the time to actually take a good photo goes a long way.
Quite frankly, fish pictures are a dime a dozen, and it seems like it's harder oftentimes to find the content that is not a fish picture. So
yep. And for somebody who's running social media, I mean, like I said, grip and grins are great, but you don't want to grip and grin every single day on a social media. So finding stuff that's more product-based is extremely helpful and will definitely help you get recognized from somebody who's involved in that marketing team.
You really have to be consistent. Consistency is probably the number one thing that I've seen that a lot of guys are missing, but the guys who do stay consistent tend to be at the top tier of pro staff and really what gets noticed. So posting every day, every couple days, that's gonna really, you're gonna really show up to that company that you're trying to impress, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for their brand to get recognized.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things for me is somebody who's willing to spend some time promoting the brand without kind of any strings attached. It seems kind of in this day and age, a lot of people are so concerned with what's the discount code, how much am I going to get off of this product. But to me, I want to see that person that has a genuine interest and care for the brand long before even having a discount or getting free products or whatever that might be.
One thing you can do to get recognized is to tag the brand that you're working for. If you just use the stuff and you don't take pictures and you don't tag them and you don't send them the pictures, they're not going to even know what you're doing. So you have to make that connection with the brand and tag them in everything that you use their products in. Make sure you tag them when you're mentioning them on social media sites like Facebook pages or your own pages, and they'll start to notice those tags show up, and they'll see them every day or every other day, and they're going to start to recognize you. If you only post, a tag every now and then, like a couple times a year, you're just not going to get noticed. One of the things that I really like to see is somebody who's actually messaging me, who's engaged, who's asking, how can I help you promote your brand? How can I help you do better? Or how can I do better to help you? And that's, communication is just a huge key to doing a good job as a pro staff.
For me, when I'm looking for somebody to add to a team, it doesn't really matter what the brand is. I like to have somebody that's good at specific things. Like we touched on this before, but people who are they might be good at photography. They might be good at videography. Maybe they have a podcast. Maybe they're writing for a ton of different brands. It doesn't really matter what that skill is, as long as they can help grow the brand. It's useful for the team.
So one other thing that I really like to see is somebody who is engaging with the fishing community as well, not just us, but the fishing community. So active on Facebook pages, active on their own pages, active out in the community when they're actually fishing, being an ambassador of whatever product. And there's all kinds of ways to do it. I just don't want to see somebody who really doesn't fish that much and maybe fishes twice a year and doesn't really get active in the community. The more active you are in the community, the better you can do at promoting a product, and that's one of the things I really look for in a good pro staff.
So for me in particular, I guess one of the biggest things that I don't like to see is people, maybe they're working with an apparel company, and then they're spending time representing a completely different competing apparel company. That is not going to go anywhere with any company. Nobody wants to have you on a team but then have you representing another brand as well. It just doesn't work. It doesn't matter whether it's rods, reels, baits, electronics. Stick with one and kind of run with that.
One of the things that bugs me is when I set up a guy with a bunch of new stuff and he's all excited about it, and then he gets the stuff and he makes one post, hashtag, whatever brand, and then he falls off the map. Like, that is just absolutely infuriating, because we go through a lot of work to set people up for success when it comes to pro staffing. We're looking for a long-term partner when we're talking pro staff teams. So that's one thing that bugs me.
So one of the things for me that I notice, whether it's somebody who might be applying for a team or somebody who's already on a specific kind of pro staff team or ambassador team, is that they conduct themselves in a positive manner. Nobody likes to see somebody out there who's bashing other brands. It doesn't go well for anybody. It doesn't matter if you work with Clam, Eskimo, or Otter. That specific brand doesn't want to see you bashing either of the other two brands.
Yeah, the fishing community is very small. And
very, very small.
And it's very tight knit. So people are going to find out if you're bashing brands. And like Blake and I, when we go fishing, we're representing different companies, sometimes even competing companies, but we still help each other shoot video and take photos, because it's just a friendly industry, and the more we keep it that way, the better.
It surprises me, how so many of the same individuals will go from one company to another company. So maybe they're at a company that you liked working with, and then they jump ship to somebody completely different.
Yep.
A lot of times it's the same players, it's just a different company, maybe a different title, but you just have to be really cognizant of that. Just carry yourself in a positive manner. It goes a long way.
And don't burn any bridges, because you might have to cross them later.
Yep, 100%.
You never know. So hopefully some of those tips will really help you guys get started, get noticed, and do a really good job for whoever you're promoting for. And you never know, you know, a brand that you've been trying to get for a while might just notice you, and you might end up working with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's some great tips there, Caleb.
Good. Well, thanks guys. Catch you later. Get hooked up.